To the boy who lost his father while at summer camp. I was the kid in the bunk above yours. We were 9, two skinny kids in a cabin that smelled like bug spray and wet towels. I didn't really know you before that summer. You were the kid who could do the rope swing without screaming. You traded me your fruit snacks for my chips on the second day, and after that we were friends the way 9-year-olds are friends. No big talks, just cannonballs and flashlight tag and seeing who could hold their breath longer at the lake. Then one morning a counselor came into the mess hall and walked you out of breakfast. We all thought you were in trouble. One kid said you probably snuck out. Another kid swore you broke the canoe. We were dumb little kids, so we turned it into a game, guessing what you did. You didn't come back until dinner. When you did, your eyes were all puffy and red, and you sat at the end of the table and didn't touch your food. A counselor crouched next to you and kept his voice low. Nobody made jokes anymore. Nobody knew what to say, especially me. That night I heard the counselors talking outside the cabin. That's how I found out your dad had died, in a hospital a few hours away, while you were at camp doing archery and eating popsicles like the rest of us. I lay in my bunk above you and listened to you trying to cry without making noise. I want you to know I wasn't asleep. I just didn't know what a 9-year-old is supposed to say to that. I didn't have the words. I'm not sure I have them now. So I didn't say anything. The next morning, before flag ceremony, I left a pack of gummy worms on your pillow. That was the whole plan. Candy was the most valuable thing I owned, and you were sad, so you should have it. That night, the gummy worms were gone. You never said a word, neither did I, so I kept going. Next night, my good flashlight, the one with the red lens cap, then half my canteen candy, my extra Pokemon cards, even the holographic one, a smooth rock from the lake that looked like a turtle. Whatever I had, it turned into a secret job. All day I'd figure out what to leave, and every night the stuff would disappear from your pillow and I'd start collecting again. One time, you almost caught me. You walked in while my hand was still on your bunk, and I pretended I was looking for my sock. You stared at me for a second. You didn't say anything. I have never grabbed a sock so fast in my life. You cried a lot that week. Sometimes you'd blow up over nothing, like when a ping pong ball hit you. There was one counselor who always got to you first. He'd walk you down to the lake until you calmed down, and he never once told you to stop crying or toughen up. I didn't think about it then. I do now. Some of the kids said you were being a baby. I remember getting so mad at them I couldn't see straight. I didn't have words for that either. I just knew they were wrong. On the last night at the campfire, you sat down next to me. We were both holding marshmallow sticks. You leaned over and said, "I know it's you." That was it. You didn't say thanks. You didn't have to. We just watched the fire until lights out. The next morning, your mom picked you up, and I never saw you again. I was 9. I didn't understand grief. I just knew you were sad, and candy was the only thing I had to give. I thought about you sometimes over the years. Random moments. Every time I saw gummy worms at a gas station, I'd wonder if you were okay. But I didn't even remember your last name, and camp friends just disappear. That's how it goes. 15 years went by. Last spring, my dad died. Heart attack. No warning at all. He was fine on Sunday. Called me like he always did, and he was gone on Tuesday. Here's the thing nobody tells you. I didn't cry. Not at the hospital. Not at the wake. Not when my mom handed me his watch. I felt like I was watching my own life through glass. I kept waiting to fall apart, and I just didn't. People kept telling me how well I was handling it. I wasn't handling anything. I was frozen. Honestly, it scared me. At the funeral, I stood in a suit that didn't fit right, shaking hands with 100 people. Everyone said the same things. He's in a better place. Stay strong for your mom. Let me know if you need anything. I nodded so many times my neck hurt, and I felt nothing. Then a guy my age stepped up to me. Instead of shaking my hand, he pressed something into it. A pack of gummy worms. I stared at it. My brain couldn't catch up. Then I looked at his face, and it took me a second. 15 years. Taller. A beard now. But it was the same face from the bunk below mine. It was you. You said, "I know it's you." And right there, in front of everybody, I broke. You pulled me into a hug, and I cried into your shoulder like I was 9 years old again. For the first time since it happened. You didn't tell me to be strong. You didn't say everything was okay. You just held on and let me fall apart. 15 years later, and you still knew exactly what I needed.